wait and then we'll close that one, otherwise it'll double. Let me make sure it's, yeah, hang on a second. Let me make sure it's showing live again. Shows live again. There we go.
Ready?
Yep. Okay. The Mid-Road Fire District Board of Directors has exited executive session. And item A is to consider the employee compensation. After discussion, we came up with some numbers, and I would entertain a motion, or we can do this, we can do this without objection.
I think we need to go without objection because it's just a plan.
It's just a plan, it's, yeah. So without objection, actually technically we do need a decision out of this. We technically do need a motion.
A decision outside of executive.
Yes, we need a motion to move forward with the $140,000 total compensation figure to move forward for this position so that the budget officer can budget for that.
I make a motion that we move forward with a $140,000 budgeted compensation package for the budget officer this year.
So I have a motion and a second to send that figure to the budget officer. Any further discussion? All right. Hearing none, would you take the roll, please?
Director McGowan?
Yes.
Director Benetti?
Yes.
Director Weidling?
Yes.
Director Owenby?
Yes.
And Director Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries
And
5-0.
Just for the record, this is just a dollar figure for the total compensation, salary, benefits, PERS, everything to move forward so that the budget officer can put a line item in place for our budget committee meeting. It has not been solidified at this time because the hiring process is still in process. Okay, and item B, the legal counsel update, was just that. It was just an update. There was no decision to be made. So we will move out of that and into item 9 for correspondence. Any review of letters, emails, or documents received? Nothing? Okay. And then item 10, additional matters of the board. This is an open floor for board reports, requests, or comments.
I just want to throw out there recognition of you, Mark, for the amount of work you're doing as the president. I know that this fire board is working outside of the parameters of what a normal fire board would, but the fact that you've stepped up and have done the extra work to help us all be success, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate that.
Not easy. I have one question.
Yes.
And that is actually toward Ralph, but I want to be open is we're working on a credit card, a gas card, something for the vehicle, so that when Ed takes it over, you'll have a way to get fuel and maintenance and so forth.
Yeah, I've got to go down and Evergreen and see about that, because we looked at going with Les Schwab for tire, brake, kind of thing like that.
Mhm.
And we also looked at Carson for fuel, and then there was Mock Ford. Mock Ford was no issue, they minimal information. But the other two wanted our social security number, they wanted our bank account numbers, and I'm like, no, you don't need that much information. So my feelings is we go talk to Evergreen and we get a card, and it just stays in the vehicle, just like, our strike team vehicles, we just keep it locked up.
Yeah, I think, right.
Executive director needs that.
Well, I mean, goes with the vehicle, which we go with.
Yeah, I think it would be, the card would be for the position. Because he'll have certain expenses too that he'll need to.
But he'll have to do expenses guidelines that we have.
Correct, and that would be another policy, P-card, yes, there you go, P-card policy. So that's another policy we'll need to work on.
Looking forward to that.
So we'll start working on that one along with,
Comes together.
yeah.
That's the only conversation I needed.
And then the only other,
Does your son still work? Because I'll make a phone call down there, because they should have a way to set up a account for the fire district.
You would believe the information through the pages.
It's a general, I have an account with Les Schwab, and yes, it's a general application, but yeah, I'll make a phone call, because I know the manager that's what they're doing. Yeah, so we'll check on.
So excise tax number,
Well, we do have
we don't have an excise tax number, we have a tax ID.
tax ID.
yeah,
Yeah, so,
We'll need that excise tax ID number, we'll not pay taxes on the tires.
right, yeah.
But we need to work on.
All right, so the only other matter I have is there's a laundry list of items that we will need for this executive director position. Things like a laptop, cell phone, items like that. Are there other items that we should be considering?
Pretty standard stuff. Business cards
Business cards?
should go on the list. Uniform items, at least to the extent the board is using them. Although I think the general agreement is it's more of a suit and tie or polo shirt.
Yeah, something with the name and logo.
Then we've got, as you already mentioned, laptop for official use only. Same thing with the cell phone. Some items in the car, which you probably do anyway, which since they're going through the list, the first aid kit, fire extinguisher.
Yeah, actually, we don't have those.
And then here's one that probably would go with the vehicle, but given what I'm anticipating to be the fuel position, while in a PPE would be appropriate.
PPP.
Well,
No, just-
interactive, get into the ICP, sometimes those are in the hot zone. So it really shouldn't go up to and including the fire shelter. You shouldn't be out there without it. Now, I don't intend for it, this is not a fire position, but it is one where,
You would have to go.
yeah,
Did you do your update this year?
I am willing to look at it.
Because that would be something that
131.
doesn't require, yeah, just to get
And that's
on the scene.
Again, the sidebar discussion there on the position itself in terms of, we discussed it first, we were going to be allowed to have the non-fire position. I am not hung up on it either way. I'm almost outside of the 130-190, which I think is necessary just to operate the environment. I would like not to maintain my position in VBSST. I'm still current with everything at the moment, but I'd like that to be my choice.
Yeah, and it's not a fire position. The only thing would be, and I didn't need it to go out to the incident command post during the Port Shanty fire for the morning briefings. I didn't have to have anything to go out there for that, so you,
Operating in fire, it's a few $100, but it's a safety hazard.
Well, it's a requirement, if it's a federal fire, I mean, part of the minimum standard should be a 130, 190.
And I'm trying to
Pressure.
thinking of things where you go through to get into an ICP as much as I was thinking, local initial attack just outside of town.
Yeah, no.
Visiting the ICP at that location is a frontline position.
yeah.
And so I was just looking at, I agree, maintaining my service with 131.
Yeah.
And, well, an appropriate PPE, that's it
Okay.
for that topic. Everything else. moving on then to finish the list, I have
Uniform allowance instead of, because we gotta set up the budget line and when to put.
overtime to be a Class A uniform, but I think that's an expense we don't need to bear right up front. We're just not there yet.
Right.
But
Well, that may-
overtime, we don't need nothing Class A.
Well, and that may be like the uniform, a uniform allowance line item on the budget itself, not just for this position, but for the board as well. I mean, there should be uniform allowance.
Yeah, for the
general-
shirts or.
Like cell phone and
Yeah,
laptop.
yeah, so that might be something outside of the position itself, just a general uniform line item for uniforms.
One, non-directly related to payroll and compensation, but there was this would be a general issue on the stand for, if there's going to be holidays, paid holidays.
No.
Salary for this. Basically, can I not go?
No holidays. You work overtime on Christmas. No, well, we would, yeah, that would be written in the policy, what holiday days, yeah. Yeah, but that's still a policy that has not been drafted as of yet.
The other thing, once there's got to be an official contract, does that have to go to legal
To
to be reviewed?
well, if he's not a contract employee,
But as an employee, we're going to have some kind of.
contract that would need to be
Contract.
reviewed, yeah, yeah. It
Well,
was-
we have,
Yeah, SDA.
HR, SDA.
Yeah, HR, SDAO, right, Tom?
Say that again.
So SDAO HR can go over the contract, right? And we have so many hours with them free, correct?
That is correct.
And they're a lot cheaper than legal.
Yeah, well, and
too.
it's, we have so many hours for free first, so it's okay. So
We
are
have
you
8
working?
hours a year, and we could very well go over that, which
Right.
do it.
Are you and Director Benetti working on the draft for that contract?
No, I have not started the draft contract.
I believe the legal fees of SDAO, if we go over our hours, is still cheaper than our legal department, so that's why I'd encourage us to use. Plus, they also read a lot of these contracts in the fire service. So,
But SDAO did recommend that we have our own internal counsel review as well.
Have our legal review it as well?
Yeah, but I'd suggest that we have SDAO do it, review it, give us yes, things look
Corrections.
effective, and then once we have kind of a finalized contract, that we have our legal review it,
Agree.
Okay.
the final conferring.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so if that's something the two of you can work on creating, and then bring it back to us at the next board meeting?
Yep.
Do we want Ralph to go talk to the bank about the P-card program?
Yes.
I'm on it, Tom, unless you got all the desires to make it happen.
Okay, all right, well, on that, do we have any other matters? Hearing none, we'll move out of additional matters, and without objection, I would like to adjourn this meeting.
Objection.
No objections, so we will adjourn this meeting at 7:32 PM, and thank you all for coming.
Have a good night, Tom.
Thank you. Good night.